concerns or question to help you? So can we start? Okay. When we ask repeat question, I will be going this order. So when you raise hand, I will start this. Let's say, for example, L did not raise hand. K has raised hand, for example. I ask K, but after that you want to raise hand. I'm going to go this order and come back again to you. So even if you raise hand, you have to wait the order which goes like this. Is it clear to everybody? Okay. So we have raised first hand from this side. I'm going to go in that order. Okay. So we're going to have a team A. The first person on the dais. I request him or her to come to the dais. Okay, please come here. Visitors are ready. Okay, participants and team, all of you ready? Can we start? 1, 2, 3.
This word or the other word, here or nowhere. Good morning to one and all present here. I am Vipanayan Naradya, and today I am speaking for the topic exploring new world is a contention for OBN. As I quoted earlier, exploring new world, we live in this world, and there is no here or nowhere is the main motto of the world. Also, what are we trying to do? Are we finding a new world which fits 8 billion people? Mission impossible, right? Also, exploring new world is also it's also polluting environment and it's polluting the environment and polluting the environment and where let's take for example Chandrayaan 2, where where it polluted the environment and where thousands of crores were wasted on this mission and it was a failure. Rather than spending thousands of crores there, we could have utilized the same money in developing our nation and we could have proudly said that India was a developed nation. And exploring new world might even lead to hazardous impacts like the nuclear fission. The nuclear fission was first seeded to the world in World War II in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, where millions of people lost their life, and till today, people are experiencing the post effects like deformities, etc. And also, exploring a new world is also exploring a new world. By exploring new world, don't you think it is taking away a responsibility which we have towards our Mother Earth and planet Earth? Well, to conclude with, exploring is literally means finding a new place, finding a new world where we could live in. But if we have a in the first place, if we have a world, right? Thank you.
Yes, she has still
1.5 minutes more left. 2.3.
Yes.
Okay, just please make a note of that. We're going to have a rebuttal now. The time starts now. Okay, I see the first hand here. Please pick up mic and ask a question.
I would ask my worthy opponent, how is exploring the new world taking away everyone's responsibility?
It was a good question. My answer is, see, don't you think we have some responsibilities which we have to follow in order to save our planet Earth, like protecting and promoting our environment? Don't you think by exploring new world, if we don't have a world to live in, and if we don't have a world, why are we basically exploring a new world? If before this world will let go of our hand, we're finding an alternative, right? Rather than finding an alternative, we can take some measures and responsibilities in order to save this planet and live happily. Thank you.
Yeah, the next question. 13I.
Hello. You talked about not. Apologies. You talked about not funding for Chandrayaan 2 because Chandrayaan 2 was a failure, but instead for the development of the country of India. But practically speaking, isn't the funding for Chandrayaan-2 basically for the development of the country?
But it was a failure, right?
But
I know it brought glory and it brought some recognition to the country, but that thousands of crores could have been utilized in developing the nation, right?
developing the nation also includes for the funding of Chandrayaan-2, right? Like by launching Chandrayaan-2, all the other countries get to know that India is a developed country, right?
It is not a developed country. It is
Like
a-
India is sort of close, it's a developing country, it is quite close to being a developed country, right? So you just said that India had wasted crores of rupees on funding for Chandrayaan-2, but instead they should have developed the nation. But then practically speaking, isn't funding Chandrayaan-2 basically for the development of the country? They're not sending Chandrayaan-2 for some fun or something.
Yeah. See, my main argument and what I wanted to tell is rather than see, it was a failure and yeah, as you stated, made other countries look upon India, look towards India. But what do you think? By I just said Chandrayaan 2.
Okay. Stop. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause for the candidate one. Thank you, Now I request Team A, the candidate, please mention your name and you're talking for or against. Please mention. Thank you.
If exploring a new world was pointless, a baby would never come out of its womb. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Rupankit, and today I am speaking against the topic. Exploring a new world is a contention for no gain. Throughout the history of humanity, humans have been exploring and discovering to survive and evolve. If exploration was never done, we would be stuck in small islands. Great minds would have not think alike at all. We would have been stuck in small islands around four walls. We could have not traded these chairs over there. Probably we would have been extinct by this point if we did not explore it all. We know that solar system is going to be extinct in the next 5 billion years. These 5 billion years is in our hands. As I enter say, the future is in our hands. If we think that 5 billion years is such a long time, we can do a lot of things in this time. After 5 billion years, our future generation will state that if these apes did something for us, found a new place for us to live in, we would have lived such a nice life with my family. Now I have to go extinct in this blue planet that is not blue anymore. Cemented to base ideals is what is keeping us from success. Let me take an example of a mango tree. We climb a mango tree and pick the sweetest fruit from it. If we have the fear of falling and we do not explore the mango tree at all, we will never get the fruits of the mango and someone else will come and pick it. If exploration was never done, we would not have these chairs, the attire everyone is wearing here, this watch, my dress, and nothing over here. I'm sure all the debaters over here explored their wardrobe, threw around all their clothes, and finally came up with the attire they're wearing now. This happened just because of exploring the wardrobe. If exploration was never done, I don't think everyone and myself would have looked as good as we are looking right now. Our blood is formed in our bone marrow. If we expect our blood to come out of the bone marrow and supply blood to our body, why should we speak in contrary to the topic that humans should not explore out of Earth and go to other planets and explore new species and think alike with them? According to me, my policy is many beliefs are collected together and they make a logic. Exploration gives new prospects. New prospects brings new beliefs in people. These beliefs brings logic and logic gives success. Without exploration, none of this would happen. In conclusion, I am absolutely against the given topic. Exploration is what makes us what we are now. Without exploration, we would have been extinct long back. The dinosaurs did not get out of their habitat, and this led to their extinction. Our universe is like our imagination. It only cherishes when set free. Thank you.
Okay, just note the time. 3 minutes.
4 minutes is there.
3.3. Okay. Now we move to the repeated round, and I request raise hand. Okay, we start with team L and then team H. Team L, and then team H.
You mentioned that exploring brought trade, but did it also bring colonialism?
Thank you for the question. If you are in fear of losing something, you will not gain anything in your life. If you fear that you lose something, then you will not do something that will bring a greater good for us. If humans fear that they will burn their hands when they create fire, they would not create fire at all. I hope that satisfies your question. Thank you.
Team H.
You had told in like after 5 billion years, the people would tell if these apes have not if they would have explored a better place for us to live in, we could have lived happily with our family. But in India, majority of the population are living in poverty. So aren't those families telling the same thing? If the people who had done something instead of exploring, they could have saved us from this poverty. Don't you think it's more important to look into the immediate causes before exploring?
Thank you for the question. You just reflected what I told just now. The people who lived long ago than us did not do what they needed to do, and that's why so many people are living in poverty right now. If we repeat the same thing again, the people from our future will say the same thing to us. Now, as you said, because of our past, so many people are living in poverty right now. Now, the same thing will happen in 5 billion years, but it is worse than poverty. If we don't find a new place or a better place to live in, where we can actually live and not go extinct, the people after 5 billion years will complain to us stating that we went extinct because of the reason that they did not explore a new world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team A. Let's give a big round of applause to the team A. Okay. There is instruction on rebuttal. Maybe I specifically didn't say it. When you ask question, just ask question. Let's not get into an argument or debate out of it. So you have failed to ask question, but let the person answer. You still have a question. We'll see. We'll allow other teams to ask more questions. So allow every team to at least ask one repeated question. But let us not get into the debating of a question. We go to team B. The first person, please come on the dais. Introduce yourself and please let us know if you're talking about for or against. Okay, once you're ready, let us know. We'll start the time. Ready?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow debaters. I am Nitika B. Yadav from School Code K177, standing before you to speak for the topic.
You can continue. That's fine. Please continue.
Curiosity kills the cat. We humans are curious about everything we come across, but is it worth the cost? In my opinion, space has always been a wonder to us, but the cost we are paying for exploring space is not worth what we are paying. For knowing something unknown, we are losing something very valuable, from lives to resources. For making aircraft, we use metals, non-metals, and gases which are renewable, the scarcity of which will be burdened on our future generation. Space exploration is not worth the cost, as we are losing valuable lives. Kalpana Chawla, an Indian origin, a NASA astronaut, died because of a mishap in the aircraft. We are losing many things because of this. The harmful gases such as sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and methane are released by these aircrafts and satellites, which are main reasons for the global warming. The global warming is causing many more effects. such as climate change, changing the habitat of animals, and etc. We are not focusing on what we have. We are focusing on something which we don't have, which is not necessary, as we have time and hope for saving our planet. Saving our planet is really important, as my fellow debater said, that if we don't save our planet, we are not giving our future generation a place to live. Instead of wasting our resources on finding something new, I think we need to dig into our earth. We have only explored 5% of earth. Imagine if we explored more than 5% of earth, what would be the secrets that the earth holds for us? I think it is time that we realize that exploring is not more important than saving what we have. India is spending so much money on space exploration, and other countries are spending so much money on space exploration. But the crisis we are facing in this generation, such as poverty, air pollution, soil degradation, all these, we are not focusing on all these. We are focusing on something we are not knowing. So, and it is also causing friction between countries. The Cold War, the Cold War between Americans and Russians is also which led to the consequence of competition between space exploration. Imagine if all countries came together to help for causes such as global warming, climate change. What would be the impact of this? The impact would be undeniable. I repeat, undeniable. In conclusion, I would like to say that we need to stop space exploration or reduce spending too much money on space exploration. Thank you.
Okay, now we open for rebuttal. Okay, I see team J, I, H, G. Team J.
First of all, very nice speech. So you mentioned that aircrafts are made up of metals, right? That, and you said that there's a metal scarcity that is possible. The potential scarcity of metals is going to be for our future generations. Now, aircrafts are one of the main reasons why we have trade, a large-scale industry, a large-scale network of trade and commerce in our world. And it is one of the reasons why minerals and all other metals, everything that is necessary for manufacturing, is brought to us by aircrafts. So don't you think it's a self-feeding loop?
Thank you for your question, but I don't think so. Aircraft is the main, the main reason for all these metals and non-metals. Yeah. Example, industry. We build industries not only for aircraft, but for sugar, like manufacturing of tables. From small to big thing, we use metals and non-metals. For knowing something we are not sure about, and it can be dangerous or mysterious. Ocean. Space is like a sea of mysterious and dangerous things. So instead of wasting our resources and metals, which can lead to which can be scarce for our future generation, I think we need to focus on developing our nations. India is still a developing country and not a developed country because of this uncertainty we are facing. Thank you.
So yeah, the next team. Thank you.
My fellow debater has stated that aircrafts release harmful and hazardous gases into the atmosphere, which would cause harm to the civilizations of today. But wouldn't we require more exploration of new methods to come out of these, to get rid of all the pollution that they cause? Wouldn't exploration be the solution to new methods and alternative methods?
Do you think space exploration would be, will get the result from space exploration for all these, other substances which can be used?
Thank you. Please take the mic. Thank you. Give a big round of applause. I'm going to call the next candidate. Please come on the dais. Please don't start. When you start a presentation, you are supposed to talk, not supposed to ask any questions to us or any topic or details information. Please follow that. If you need a title, do you need the title to write on your sheet? You need a title? All right. Can we start? So, ready? Ready? Okay. 1, 2, and 3.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges and fellow debaters. I am Prapun BK from School Code K177 here to speak against the topic. Space. It is a vast sea of unknown and many unsolved mysteries. But exploring it might just give us immense amounts of valuable results. Like you can explore exoplanets and find other habitable planets to live on. The Earth as we know it today is suffering from pollution, climate change, global warming, and whatnot. And if we were to exist in a couple thousand years in the future, it would only be by God's grace. In today's world, we are constantly blasting the earth with immense amounts of radiation and dumping thermal and toxic waste into water bodies, making them uninhabitable. Do you think all of that is worth it? Now, we cannot stay on this crumbling earth of ours for much longer. We need to find other planets or celestial bodies to live on. You can take the example of Chandrayaan 3, when it landed, it found ice caps, which was the presence of water. And if we were to warm up the moon a little bit, just a little bit, we could possibly make it habitable. A concept was proposed by Elon Musk, that is the CEO of Tesla or SpaceX, where he proposed to blast the poles of Mars with multiple nuclear missiles to warm up the planet and making it habitable. According to me, this is one of the greatest breakthroughs in the field of finding habitable celestial bodies. And if we do want to solve our climate issue or any other issue of our Earth, we need to do it. We do not have much time to do so. And if we can do it in less amount of time, we need the help of all the countries today. Is that achievable? When you see North Korea and other countries of Africa, they are dictatorship countries which are not ready to join hands with democratic countries. You can also take examples of ongoing wars where they just don't want to join hands together due to their past grudges. In conclusion, space exploration or any exploration of whatsoever is necessary for the existence of human race and mankind altogether. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Another 45 seconds.
Yeah, I think he said thank you. We will move to the rebuttal round now. Raise hands to like ask question. Then team K and then team E.
My fellow debater, do you think only exploring the new world is the way to gain success?
Thank you for the question. The world we see today is constantly depleting with its resources. And if we could just gather up most of our resources today, we can just explore new celestial bodies and possibly mine other metals which can be useful for the world's development.
How are you getting the guarantee that your exploration is going to be successful?
That's the point. You see, you're not sure whether you'll pass. You can take the example of an exam. Let's say you studied hard, but the teacher has given a few pretty hard questions. Are you sure that you can, answer all of them? It's all about taking risks.
Okay, the next thing.
Dear debater, wonderful speech. You have mentioned in your speech that we have been adding hazardous waste into the water bodies. But the thing is, if we explore the new world and go to a new planet, we will, make the water bodies even there, even if it is possible. We'll pollute it even more. Because as we have seen, the pollution is a problem only from the past 200 years. The development is one of the main concerns. So how do you possibly say that this advancement won't lead to pollution of other exoplanets, which may be thriving right now and we may ruin its ecosystem?
Exoplanets, as we know today, with our research, with the number of exoplanets that we know today, none of them contain life. So, if we were to warm up their surfaces or even their poles, we can make it habitable. But through self-restraint, I think we can manage a couple of planets.
Okay, team A.
Well spoken, debater. But I have a question. You mentioned that space has so many things to discover and things we can use. Your teammate mentioned that only 5% of Earth is discovered. So don't you think that exploring the 95% will give you more results and it is more efficient than going for something so far-fetched?
You see, if the oceans that we know, it's filled with who knows what. Like when the anglerfish was first discovered, it was many people theorized that the gates of hell were opening, and stopped, exploring our oceans. We're not sure if maybe there are much dangerous creatures in the ocean.
You can complete the answer. You can complete the answer.
The much dangerous creatures in the ocean which are much more terrifying and can possibly through our titanium hulls.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause to the team B. Okay, to again help me, I'm going to leave the topic of the day here. One copy I'm going to leave there for you to refer in case you need this help. Okay. Now we're going to move to the team C. Okay. The first person, please come on rise, come to the stage, introduce your name, and if you opt for or against, that is fine.
Good morning, respected teachers, honorable judges, and fellow debaters. My name is Adan, and today I'll be standing for the topic Exploring the New World is a Contention for No Gain. Now, let me start with the famous proverb don't fix something that ain't broke. Excuse me, my apologies. Don't fix something that ain't broke. Now, as that has been made clear, everyone likes stories, so I'll also present my own story. There was once a village boy named Ram who enjoyed his life, went to school, played with his friends, had a lot of fun, and used to help his parents on the field, and occasionally used to help the farmers with the dairy. But and he became very fortunate, or hit the jackpot, so to say, and he did not know what to do with his huge amassed wealth. So he moved to a city. On moving to the city, he found it very, very difficult to cope up with the modern lifestyle of the urbanites. He found it difficult to adapt to and absorb all the technology that was present in modern times. And he felt very different from his friends who could do all the things that he couldn't. He even heard them talking behind his back about him, and he felt very hurt by this. So, with this story, I can justify the topic. Not only this, but almost up to 80% of people who move from villages to cities, be it students for education or people to search for job opportunities, have been thrown off their pursuit of success or have found very little success in the end. Let me give you another example. I'm sure you all know Pragnanandha. He's a very famous chess player who came from a humble background in Tamil Nadu. He was a very avid chess player from the very beginning, and he wanted to take up professional chess. But he could not do that as there were no opportunities in his area. So he had to move to a rather big city. Once he moved there, he found it very difficult to cope up with everyone, everything. But soon, once he started becoming comfortable, he started gaining his skills, he started honing them, and he became the well-known person that we know he is today. But this was a rather big gamble. It was a 50-50 rather. He could have failed, but he did pass. The same way as a fellow debater mentioned, Elon Musk. He was born in a very remote area in South Africa, which is under what do you say, which does not have a very definitive administration. But in the end, he took a lot of big risks that in the end proved to be successful for him and led to his success. Not only this, not only successes, but failures also have come. We all know cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Another rather less well-known cryptocurrency was Quadriga CX. I know it's very unknown, but at the beginning, it amassed a wealth of almost 12.6 billion US dollars. But almost 2 years after the conception of the company, it got completely terminated, lost all its wealth. I won't go into too much detail because it's a bit of a conspirative topic. Anyway, in conclusion, I would like to say that exploring the new world is for no gain. Thank you.
We'll just note the time, 3 minutes. 45 seconds. Now we begin the rebuttal round. Okay, so team D, team A, and team H. Okay, team D.
My worthy opponent, I'm sure you're aware of Pragnananda's various talents and various awards. This is because he took a step into a world where he was not aware of. He ventured out away from his comfort zone. Are you telling that all his, achievements are not a game?
They are a game, but the risks he took, it could have gone either way. He could have not gotten the benefits of what he sowed, or he could have, which he did.
Yeah, the next team. Sorry. The team A.
Well spoken, debater. You mentioned at the start of your debate that don't fix something that ain't broke. I don't think you can wait for Earth to break and then fix it when it's broken.
Well, it ain't broken yet.
Can you fix it after it's broken?
No, but I'm telling you, don't break it.
Okay, thank you. I think there's one more team which sorry, which was the team I, right? Yeah, team I.
Later, you have stated out of the 3 examples that you have stated of Pragnananda, Elon Musk, and cryptocurrency, 2 out of the 3 had taken risks, explored new worlds, and have been successful. So, what do you have to say about that?
I'm sorry, but what's your question?
You have stated 3 examples of Pragnananda, Elon Musk, and cryptocurrency, and you have stated that exploring means taking risks, and risks can prove. Examples have proved that risks have been successful and that the risks were worthy of taking.
Can you please use a mic if you not maybe borrow from somebody? Yeah.
Yeah. So, what if the exploration of space also leads to a success? What do you have to say?
I didn't mention anything about space exploration though.
Okay, fine. About new perspectives. Out of 3, the 2 things were positive results, right? So that leaves you.
I mean, it's the same answer I give my fellow debater. I can give you.
You're contradicting yourself.
How am I contradicting myself?
Because the 3 examples you gave out of those 2 links into success.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause for. I request again, you can ask a question or rebuttal, but let's not repeat on a rebuttal. Let's not ask question for question. Ask a question, let them answer it. If you still have any more questions, we'll have a lunch break and we'll talk about it more in person. Okay. Now next is team C. The other person, please come and dice. Introduce your name and tell you're talking for or against the judges. Ready?
Check.
1, 2, 3.
A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Good morning, respected judges, teachers, debaters, and dear students. My name is Aditya Kavisipati, and I will be standing against the topic exploring the new world is a contention for no gain. Now, I Now, in reference to the quote which I had shared, this statement can completely be eradicated if we gain a lot of knowledge. And the main constituent of knowledge is exploring. Now, if we look back 100 years from today, we see that the world has completely changed. I would like to give a few applications regarding that. Number one, information. About 100 years back, the only way to gather information was to run through thousands of pages to find that one single information which we are looking for. It was both tedious and tiring. Now, since the world has evolved, we have many search engines such as Google and Bing AI, which can give us the answer to our questions in the blink of an eye. Now, the second application is instant messaging. Earlier, in order to share information from one place to another, we used to use modes of communication such as telegraphs and letters. Now, and in the new world, we have got instant messaging and many sites through which we can communicate with one another almost instantly. Now, you may ask yourself, why am I quoting these examples? Well, this is to prove the point that the exploration has led to the evolution of the world, and we would not be who we are today if our ancestors had not explored. Now, like everything, exploration also has a limit. We can take the example of the state in which the country, Syria, is. Due to human greed for power, the country is now in a state of distress. It has become a ground zero for conflicts and political organizations. Now, to conclude, I would like to say that exploring is one of the many ways through which we can gain information, and information leads to knowledge, and therefore this can help us develop much more further in the future. Hence, okay, thank you. So,
Okay, time 2.50. Judges, have you made the note? Now we open the round for rebuttal. Raise your hand. Team B.
Nice speech, my fellow debater. You have said that because of discovering, you get knowledge. You know, knowledge is really important for discovering. What about underdeveloped countries? Where do you think they'll get knowledge?
through exploration. Okay. So, just to clarify, you're saying that underdeveloped countries do not have the resources to explore. Okay? Um, so exploration is not merely done through large funding. It can also be done by minuscule adjustments, meaning you can research through books to characterize theories, to make up theories, which barely cause the bare minimum. So therefore, even underdeveloped countries can contribute in the development of their nation and maybe even the world in the large scale.
The next team, Team H. I saw you raised your hand, right? Did I?
you had stated that we should gain more knowledge, but then this universe is so big that if you continue to explore, there is knowledge has no end.
Yes, definitely. I definitely agree that knowledge has no end. But my main point which I wanted to convey by emphasizing on the word knowledge is that knowledge is the most important thing in the universe. It can tell us about almost every single. It can answer almost every single question which we have. So that is the reason as to why I conveyed knowledge and why I explained to her why underdeveloped countries too can gain knowledge with the bare minimum. The team G.
So you had said that futuristic events of these explorations would be successful. So can you specify about like which point of these explorations would you mean like would be successful?
Can you please repeat your question?
So you said that these futuristic events of exploration would they be successful? So could you specify one point in which this event would be successful according to you?
For example, I am proud to say that India is right now on the moon due to the mission of Chandrayaan 3. Maybe, who knows, in the future, we might be able to gain valuable information and knowledge through that Chandrayaan 3.
So thank you. Let's do a big round of applause for Team C. Cheer them up for great effort. Before I call the Team D, anybody require water? So please raise hand. We will supply to you. I know some of you not carry water, so we'll supply to each one of you. That we'll do in a transition. Is that okay? We'll get you the process. Somebody come from here and help you out. Is that okay? We move to the now Team D. C is done, right? It's Team D. Okay. The first candidate for the debate. Please mention your name and for or against. And once you're ready, let us know. We'll time you based on. You ready? 1, 2, and 3.
A very good morning to everyone present here. My name is Yashvi Neela Raman, and today I stand firmly for the proposition of the House, which states that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Now, let me recite an anecdote. The anecdote's name is Pandora's Box. Pandora was a little small girl, and she had something called curiosity, which made her alike as us in many ways. She was given a gift, which was a small box. She was told not to open it, but the curiosity got the better of her, and she could not even think straight. And she opened the box, releasing 7 sins. Now, I would like to tell you what is exploring. Exploring means to venture into the unventured. And what is gain? Gain is when you get something new, like a fuel, or when you discover a new planet. But gain is not when it is less than what you have put in, whatever effort you have put in. If the result is less, that is not called a gain. That is called a loss. I have 2 points to support my argument. My first point is resources are wasted. Resources are some things which we need to sustain our life. It can be time, it can be money, it can be the energy we put or our commitment. And I don't think that if we go on exploring, we will not get the necessary items or the results we need. Just take the example of lithium mining. When you mine lithium, do you know how much effort it takes? When you mine lithium, 20 tons of coal is used, and that leads to more carbon emissions. I ask you, how is that a gain? How is it a gain when you're polluting the atmosphere? Now, my second point being dangers to our own race. Now, let me take the example of Marie Curie. Now, Marie Curie was really intrigued with all these kind of radioactive substances. Now, these radioactive substances are something which is very dangerous. It's not okay to touch with our bare hands. That's what she did. She touched it with her bare hands. And that resulted in her death. I asked my opponents, is it worth it? Is it worth the exploration you're doing? I don't think so. I will also take the example of space exploration. Suppose we go outside, suppose we have enough funds to go outside our planet and we found another planet with another species. How do we know that the species are not going to come against us? How do we know that they're not going to start an intergalactic war? So, to conclude, I would like to say that risking our own human race or risking our resources is not worth the gain that we're getting. We are not getting any gain because it is harming us. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you.
3 minutes 35 seconds.
We will open for rebuttal. I'm sorry, I didn't see the hands in order. Can you all put your hands down? Sorry. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Team J, Team E, and Team B. Okay, we go on 3 of them. Once they finish, the next team please take check on.
Okay, Philip, you mentioned that Mary Curie, who because of her injuries caused due to her exposure to radioactive elements and substances, was caused by this. Now, without her disclaimer of that, her incident basically of how radioactive elements are dangerous, how would we know that radioactive elements are dangerous? She gave us one of the most comprehensive information about radioactive elements along with her husband. So she explored, but she did suffer consequences. So isn't her sacrifice a huge value to the world?
Because she sacrificed herself, we lost a great thinker. We lost a great scientist who could have done so many things for us, who could have solved maybe climate change or something like that. Because we lost her, due to her exploration, due to her curiosity, we lost her. And I think that is a huge loss.
Okay, the other team. Thank you.
Marie Curie was a great scientist who found out polonium, which was a cancer treatment against, which was a medicine that was found against cancer. Don't you think her exploration saved the life of millions of people? It gave a ray of hope to the life of millions of people who were suffering from cancer. And how can explorations have no gain when she had a lot of gain?
So, she had a lot of gain, yes, but what did she lose? Her own life. She lost her own life. How can my worthy opponent even think that there is some gain involved? Yes, she discovered the element which helped in cancer, but what if she lived for some more time? What if she could have found a better cure for cancer? I think we lost a really great mind like that.
Team A, sorry, Team B.
A nice speech, my fellow debater. You said that lithium mines, for mining lithium mines, tons of carbon is released. But when we mine, petrol refiners release thousands of metric tons of carbon. So when we use lithium, when we compare lithium and petroleum, don't you think lithium is more eco-friendly than petroleum? What do you think about it?
Thanks, my fellow debater. But I think you failed to notice that I never mentioned petroleum in my speech. So, when I say that this mining of lithium causes 20 tons of coal is being used, then there is something called hydrogen fuel cars too. We can use all of that. Don't we? We already have so much information which we can use.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause. We will supply water in between now. Please, volunteers. You need more water. Water is available. Somebody supply to you. If you need more water bottle, you can ask. Please ask. If they don't give you, please ask. Please check with each team if they require more than one bottle or more than two bottles. Please supply them. Water? Need to request for water? You can ask Silas. So this is T D. Yes, your time starts now.
Everything began with the water in. A very pleasant morning to everyone present here. I'm Pura, and I'm here to stand strongly against the motion of the house that states exploring new world is a contention for no gain. I wonder how this ship has even crossed our minds. Well, let me begin. When Magellan crossed the world, didn't he realize that Earth was round? Did we ever, for a long, long time, the church believed the Earth was flat. It led to a lot of misconceptions. But Magellan took the courage. He took that opportunity. That led him to discovering the world is round. Earth is round. Earth is spherical. That leads us to the solution of a million problems of today. This leads me to bring my two main arguments: space exploration and underwater exploration. For the benefit of everyone here, let me explain why I've taken these two arguments. These have resulted in the most results. These have given us the most gain out of all the explorations human man has entered. Let's go with space exploration. I'm sure everyone is aware of Chandrayaan 3, the great success it began. But did you know a lot of misconceptions that goes behind it is not a lot of elements were found, or it hasn't led to a lot of result. See, we are wrong about two main things. One, the isotopes of various chemicals that were found on the dark side of the moon. This has led to a lot of renewable sources of fuel. If we were to transport these fuels, these isotopes into back Earth, pollution is solved. Pollution of various types is solved. A recent study in Delhi that was conducted showed that 80% of young children are suffering from asthma. And from asthma rose lung cancer. These little children, these rays of hope are having cancer. Are my worthy opponents telling me that not exploring, it could lead us to cancer and you're okay with that? How do my worthy opponents even think of that? This leads to my second point, underwater exploration. Now, underwater exploration is a thought not tossed by many, but it is a value that has not yet been researched on. We can do that. Did you know there's a 60,000 psi underwater? A normal balloon or a normal ball or a normal cycle has 15 psi, meaning the elements underwater are more refined. The elements underwater are more sustainable, more renewable, lesser carbon emissions. This is a glory. This is pure gold. And we refuse to take change. As I've mentioned earlier, carbon, we emit it out of coal. This coal was found 1700 years back. 1700 years back. We refuse to accept change. That is where we go wrong. I'd like to present simply in conclusion. Newton could have said, why did this happen to me? He could have not even bothered about it. Instead, he asked, why not? He asked, what if? That is why we're here today. That is why we have Granti. That is why we ventured out into a new world. Yet, if someone believes, say that exploring is not something beneficial to us, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. With this, I'd like to conclude by stating, yes, exploring is something that must be done, something to evolve, and that is why we are here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, 3 minutes 40 seconds. Repeater K, F. Okay, we have T, K, and F. T, K.
I would like to ask my worthy opponent that you mentioned asthma in your speech, right? So asthma is caused by the smoke or the dust pollutants. So I would like to say that those smoke and dust pollutants were also invented by man due to some explorations, right? What would you like to say about that?
See, you explored coal in the 1700s. Miss Baker, that is a very wrong conception that you have. We can still explore out there. We can find renewable sources. Why do we choose to stay in the same position that we are? That is what makes us different. How are we going to evolve if we sit back and cuddle into our own comfort zone?
You mentioned renewable and resourceful elements underwater. Can you please name a few?
Sure. Let's talk about isotopes of titanium alloys or titanium chloride. This is something that was found not only in space but also underwater. And the coal that you find underwater due to refinery is more, carbon less emitting and more resourceful for the earth.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause. Team E, please away, introduce yourself, tell your name, and let us know the top for or against. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Once upon a time, there were four people. Everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. Everybody were given an opportunity to do a particular task. But they thought it was so easy that anybody could do it. And then anybody thought somebody would do it. Ultimately, nobody did it. This caused everybody to be enraged. But when finally he went and saw it, somebody had done it. Now in this situation, somebody is me. Good morning, one and all present here. I am Pranav Chandrasekhar, here speaking firmly for the topic. Exploring the new world is a contention for no gain. Firstly, we have to understand that we must first improve the resources which is already present on the earth and cure the ills already present. As we have seen, the cancer is present from the starting of humanity. Even in the fossils of millions of years ago, cancer is still present. Even today, it is seen in each and every organism. So if we don't focus on the curing of cancer and we say, let's explore the new world, then what about our already existing world? What about the inequalities and what about the various isotopes and the various false topics which are present already in the world? These ills should be cured first before we move on for the exploration of the new world. So this is why exploring the new world is contingent for no actual gain. Another thing is resource reallocation. As we have seen, billions of dollars is spent on this so-called space exploration yearly. But if the same money is kept aside for the public services, then the world would become a better place. Women, children, and even the people from the lower class would have a better chance at life. We would be living a world where equality is not at all a problem, it would be a solution. The next topic which I would like to infer is the safety hazards which is faced by these explorations. As we have seen, I know examples from our nation, Kalpana Chawla. She was an astronaut who was sent to the moon, but while coming back, her spaceship exploded. We lost one of the most brilliant astronauts our country has ever seen. Now imagine if instead of going and exploring out in the moon, imagine she had stayed on Earth and did the research. Then imagine the number of minds which we could have formed, number of thoughts and the process which we could have formed. The main topic, another thing, is Buddha's way of life. The world is full of suffering. Suffering has a cause. Desire is the cause of all suffering. If desire is stopped, suffering can be stopped. Now, when we explore, we have desires. The only reason we explore is for the betterment of humanity, as the proposition might say. But I choose to go against it. Because as we have seen, the only reason we explore is for personal benefits of the nation. Most of the time, it is against various people's mentality. And another thing which I would like to tell is that this exploring is just a charade. It has put upon a face, a poker face, which tells us that it is only good, and the ills and the various mentality of the backward class, it is just not highlighting. Because as we have seen, the various ills that are faced by the people can be sorted out first before we go on and explore the so-called new world. Look, In life, there is wrong and right. Because somewhere in between, there has to be life. So, in life, you can either choose to be the former or the latter, but never stay on the stage. So all of the people who are present here, who are against this motion, are against humanity, because humanity is only come up to development, not the exploring of the new world. So, all the people who are against the motion, I plead you, please come to the path of light and say with me, exploring the new world is a contention for no gain, and we must first explore the resources already present in our world. Thank you.
Okay, judges, please know the time. 3 minutes 44 seconds. 3 minutes 44 seconds. Now we open the round for everything. Please start with the F, D, and C. We take.
You said that we should rather explore the resources that we have on Earth than going outside. But going outside, won't it improve our own chances of survival and enable us to evolve better? Do you want us to go extinct by not exploring the world outside?
And the mention that we have to go extinct, the proposition stated that only 5% of the world has been explored. Where there is 95%, why do you want to take new stuff? When the already existing stuff is not at all explored. Let us first complete our mission and then let's take up on these so-called side business.
D? Yes.
I quote unquote, you mentioned exploring the resources on our earth. We must first explore the resources on earth. You do mention that I'm mentioning explore, right? So you're exploring something that is already on earth. So exploring doesn't necessarily mean you need to go to space or you need to venture out somewhere. It means anything new that you haven't actually worked upon. What do you have to say about it? You're literally contradicting your own self.
The thing is, this so-called exploring the new world means the things which are out of our the reach of common man. The thing is, this so-called new world, most of the time when we use this word, we normally refer to the space explorations or the underwater explorations. What I mean by it is let us first explore the elements which are already present on the surface of the earth and in the surface, and not only the things for the so-called new world.
The key, I think C was it.
Okay, so you stated cancer is present in all organisms. Are you saying that everyone present in the hall, including you and me, have cancer inside? Yes, all of us have cancer cells. The thing is, in some people it is expressed, but others it is just repressed. The thing is, all of us have cancer. If the particular organs of our body is immune to it, then it is not expressed in our body. But the fact is, everyone has cancer. And the thing is, in the past organism which I have mentioned, the cancer is being shown in them, which is the reason why I have mentioned that let us first cure cancer and then let us check upon the other so-called new world resources. Thank you.
So much. Yes, give it an applause. Team E. Team E, the next member. Please come. Please make the way. Introduce yourself and say whether talking for or against. The topic is in front of you. Please refer. Is this ready? Times. You ready? 1, 2, and 3.
I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, I will do. Good morning, respected judges, my worthy opponents, and one and all present here. I am Avantika R. standing here firmly against the topic that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Imagine the happiness that you get after solving a problem. It's the same when you explore something. It's the same when you find a new way to live your life. Exploring new things help us to experience each and every nook and corner of our life. It helps us to get more exposure. Life is ephemeral. It's very short, but until the last breath of life, we should make sure that we have contributed something to our society. Our ancestors have done something. They found out fire, they found out wheels, and these are all exploring. They were ready to take risks and they found out new things. And that's the reason we have today vehicles, we have today gas stoves and many other new things which helps us to live. And if we don't explore, who will give a better future for our future generations? Who will provide a better place for our future generations to live? Why would we take the blame of theirs when our ancestors have provided such a beautiful place for us to live? Why we should also be concerned about our future generations. We have seen that Thomas Alva Edison found out electric bulb, and we are sitting in this room filled with lights. But what if we would not have done this? We would be sitting in darkness without a ray of hope in life. The same way, we also should be ready to explore new things. It's not only on earth, it's also a part away from it. We have to explore new things in space. Recently, I saw an interview by an ISRO chairman, and he was telling that in 500 billion years, our Earth will come to an end. But we should make sure that we have found a new place for our future generations to live. He himself told that we should make explorations in moon. We should make explorations in different planets so that we provide a safe place for our future generations, what our ancestors has given us the same way. So we should make sure that we do more explorations, we learn and we experience each and every nook and corner of life. Just being in comfort zone, just being in four walls of a room doesn't show what's life. We have to know what's life from starting to end. We have to believe in us. We have to have the trust that we can do something for our future generations. We can contribute to our society. See, there's no darkness, but there's ignorance. We should not be ignorant, as many diseases have, many people suffering. We have to explore new ways where they can come out of their sufferings. So I would like to conclude by saying that it is better to be late than never. So even though we are late, it's okay. Let's start. Let's take a step today itself to find new innovations, to explore new things, so that we and our future generations live a happy life and we can create a history of our present generation. Because some people can move the world, but some people can create little changes. Altogether, creates the history of the present generation. Thank you.
Okay, this is not the time. 3 minutes, 52 seconds. Sorry. 3 minutes, 52 seconds. 3 minutes, 52 seconds. Now we are open for rebuttal. I see team B and A and then G.
You have all faith, but no claim. Most of the exploration has led to death, and more death. What do you have to say about that?
Thank you for your questions. But these explanations, even if they've led to the death of 1 or 2%, it has saved the life of millions of people. So explorations help in saving the life of many people. We have to be ready to take risks in our life. It's not, if these people were not ready to take risks in their life, they would not even have found out a new way to save the life of other people. So we should be ready to take risks and go on in our life and come out of our comfort zones.
Team A.
Jack of all, master of none. You said that we need to explore new things. But while exploring new things, you have left so many things unaccomplished that we already have. That's exactly what I said at the start. Jack of all. You have explored many things, but you have not completely explored and taken the fruit of what you already have. What do you have to say?
We have to explore throughout our life. It's not that a single person can explore everything what's in the world, but each and every person puts a step towards exploring, towards finding out new things. Then everybody can together explore many things. World is vast, not only Mother Earth, other planets. We have so many things to explore. So one person or one society cannot. Everybody, each and every individual of each and every generation have to explore new things.
There was one more team which team G, right?
I believe you said 500 billion years we're going to go extinct. Don't you think that sentence, that statement is a bit off? And how are you so sure? Is it just because or the words of a mere person who just said it, or like do you have any like proper scientific data?
It is what researchers have told, and this is not just a mere person. It's the chairman of ISRO, and he's to this post. They would have done researchers. That's the reason he was so sure in telling that.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Please give a big round of applause to Team E. Okay, we move to the new team now, Team F. The first person for debate. Ready? Introduce your name.
Exploring new world is a contention for no gain. A lot of you might be wondering what the word contention actually means. Contention loosely translates to argument. So you must be thinking, why is this weird girl arguing that exploring the new world is actually useless? It's a useless argument. Let me elaborate. Good morning, everyone. I'm Hemamrita M from Team F, and today I'm here to speak for the motion that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Whenever we say the word new world, often the first thing that comes up to our minds is the United States. So why exactly do we associate America with the new world? That is because the new world is not just limited to exploring the different parts of Earth or exploring the space. Exploring new world also means exploring new experiences, new ideas, and new perceptions of life. New ideas are more often than not the modern ideas that we have today. And many a times, modern ideas result in us losing what we actually fundamentally stand for. When we get exposed to modern ideas, new ideas, we tend to lose our own opinions which frame our personality. We tend to lose a major chunk of ourselves. A lot of you might argue that gaining new perceptions and new ideas is essential in order to enable us to gain a new modern outlook on our life, which is important with the changing times. But then it is useless if you're unable to blend it with the opinions and the perceptions that you already have and that you have learned throughout your life. Even with regard to traveling, I believe that exploration has resulted in a lot of colonialism, terrorism, and plundering. Just look at where the British exploration of the world, New World, got us all in. While exploration is necessary, it is a human tendency to see the bad in things rather than the good in things. Even when we explore and we are exposed to a number of ideas and new things, we tend to see, and observe the bad in them rather than see, take, and observe the good in them. For example, in our own country, we are so deeply influenced by the Western culture that we have fundamentally lost what we once were. We have gained this outlook that we were an underdeveloped country before the British showed up, just because we are so deeply influenced by the new modern ideas of the Western world. Thus, I rest my case by saying that exploring the new world is a contention for no gain because of all the points that I have mentioned above.
2 minutes 51 seconds. 2 minutes 51 seconds. Okay. I open the round for rebuttal now. I see team A and then I see team C. Team A and then team C.
Well spoken, debater. But you spoke about how the British had colonized so many places in the world and did bad things to us. But I see many good things that British has done to us. The steam engine is one thing. And secondly, if British had not come, before the British, there was Mughal rule in India. British came to India and I agree that they did many bad things to India. But this is what brought a feeling of nationalism in India. If we fear that we will lose something in one prospect, we will not see the good we get in the same thing.
With regard to the British, you said that they brought steam engine, major inventions and development to our country. We had a GDP of $40 trillion before they showed up. And we were part of one of the major inventions. One of them even mentioned gravitation. It was us Indians who first came up with gravitation, with the Copernican theory, with the heliocentric theory, and many more other inventions and major discoveries in the world. We were the first to come up with them. You also spoke about nationalism, but we were a country which carried the most trade in the entire world before the British came. Even during Mughal times, even the Mughal managed to sustain our trade balance. When we were able to integrate our country and trade with other countries as well, then why do we need the British? Why did we need the British? We would have developed by ourselves.
The team C.
You stated that we lose our opinion upon exploring. Could you emphasize on that and prove how do we lose ourselves if, and our opinion if we do manage to explore?
Okay, when I say lose our opinion, I'm not specifically speaking about one individual's opinion, but then the opinions that the generations before us have had and which have impacted our lives in a good way, we lose those opinions because of exposure to new things. Many of the things that were present in our country from long before actually benefited us, but because of the exploration of new ideas by us, we have forgotten the benefits that those ideas, that the opinions of our generations before had on us.
Sorry?
Can I cross question?
Okay, a short one.
Exposure to new ideas and old ideas. If we combine both of those ideas, then we get an absolutely new theory which can solve all of our questions. I would like to quote an example of the atomic structure. The modern atomic structure is mainly based on Bohr's atomic theory. With the combination of current discoveries and Bohr's atomic theory, we can combine it to form the modern atomic theory, which helps us understand all of our questions. So, how do we lose our opinion in this case?
If you listen to my speech carefully, you would have observed that I mentioned blending of new ideas with old ideas. Only then does exposure to new ideas benefit us. That's something which I mentioned while making my speech.
Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause for first member from team here. The second participant from team here. Please make the way. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Samhita Bharadwaj from Kenya. Today, I'll be standing against the motion. Exploring new world is a contention for no gain. I stand firmly against this proposition. Now, before delving deep into this speech, let us first understand what the words phrases mean. Contention means an argument, and the phrase "new world" does not only the phrase "new world" does not only refer to traveling around the world to outer space and discovering places underneath the sea. It also means exploring new ideas, exploring new, having new experiences, things like that. First, let us go through the first. Let us go through the more first, let us go through the more visible meaning of this sentence, of this phrase, traveling. If we travel to different places, if we go to different cultures, we will have different ideas about them, and we can combine these ideas with our own ideas, and we can make a new theory out of it. We have observed that many inventors, many authors have not just bought their own idea. They have taken ideas from different books and inventions and then have created their idea. If we explore different things, only then will we be able to make a new change in our world. And also, if we collaborate and globalize with other people, if we collaborate with other countries and globalize our ideas, then we'll be able to achieve more. Let us take the example of Aryabhatta 1, the first space mission of India. We Indians collaborated with the Soviet Union and we took their ideas and combined their ideas with our ideas and we made Aryabhatta 1 go into history. And also, if we look at different inventions, let us take the clock for example. The clock was evolved from the ideas of pendulum, simple pendulum, that was Galileo's idea, and then it slowly evolved into complex pendulum, and then this transformed into the digital clocks which we use today. But if we had not explored the older ideas and blended our ideas with it, we would not have come up with the new ideas. Therefore, I stand firmly against the motion. Exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, just please make a note. 3 minutes 39 seconds. 3 minutes 39 seconds. Okay, I open the round for rebuttal now. Okay, no questions. The full points to be given to the person. Somebody raised hand. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Did I miss? Was it within 8 seconds? Was it there? Did you raise immediately? Okay, did you raise within 10 seconds? You're saying? Is that yes? Please ask the question.
My worthy opponent, I'd like to state something. You mentioned how a lot of, for example, the Aryabhatta one, which was something in his speech. Did you know that Aryabhatta had a lot of inventions that are already his own? He did not need to explore or take help of a lot of other people. He could have just, used his own ideas. Yet, we choose to believe something exploring has led us to a really bad conception of ideas. What do you have to say about that?
That was a very good question, but I was referring to Aryabhatta 1 as the space mission, not the Aryabhatta himself.
Okay, but like Aryabhatta, the space mission, is derived from someone, right? The name itself, Aryabhatta. For example, he came up about the Earth Moon theory, or how Earth was already spherical in shape. This all came from him. We do not actually have to explore what the Britishers had to do.
But they did not just offer the same ideas. They gave new ideas and we put our own ideas and evolved it into a different, newer idea. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause for the team here. Now I'm going to go the rebuttal round questions from this direction to this direction, from A onwards to L. So you could raise hand in this order. Now we're going to go to the next new team, Team G. The first person, please make away. Introduce yourself and let us know you're speaking for or against the topic. Once you're ready, let us know. Check your mic first. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
A bird in hand is better than two in the bush. My name is Daniel Rajo from New Millennium School, and I'm here to speak for the motion. Exploring a new world is a contention for new gain. See, currently there's an ongoing discussion about whether or not exploring a new world is a gain for us. Well, I personally tend to think that it isn't as big of a gain as the hype around it is, because like it isn't much rewarding as the people who have come before me have said. Because when we think about the amount of havoc that it causes, the amount of loss that we get because of it. Let's take some examples. For example, Ferdinand Magellan, Vasco da Gama are all renowned voyagers who discovered a lot. But what about the sailors who never made it back? All because they believed in something that was completely abstract or completely fictional. They never made it into the history books because of their belief in something that they didn't have, but they still wanted to know about it. So, and then when we come to the modern man, who's renowned for his selfishness, his greed, and most importantly, his curiosity. When he tries to find out about something and tries to disturb something that remained hidden or concealed for such a long time, it might result in adversities, or it can end up really bad and cause a threat to our life in itself. So I think we should just learn to appreciate the things that are already with us, rather than pondering upon something that we don't have. Next, I would like to say that sure, we have found a lot of new species over the past decade, millions of species, I say. But then, what about all the species that we are losing? All because we do not care enough for them. We're too busy just exploring something that is unknown to us, while we don't cherish the things and the blessings that we have right under our nose. Which brings me back to my quote that I began with. A bird in hand is better than two in the bush. So, what I would like to conclude from my speech is that we need to first explore things that we already have, rather than finding out something which we don't have, because I find that more rewarding. And I'm not talking about the space missions or the sea underwater missions. I'm talking about the things that we find around us in our day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, just please note the time. 2 minutes 49. 2 minutes 49 seconds. Okay, we move repetitive. We move A. Then I'll try to give somebody a chance. Okay, E has not never asked a question. Right? A, B, B. The team A, E, and then let's see. I'll think of others. Let's see. I'll think of. Okay, A and E.
Well spoken, debater, but I have a question. You mentioned that a bird in hand is better than two in the bush. A bird in hand, not the bird in the bush, is permanent. Eventually, it is to come to an end. Now, with the conception that what you have in your hand will stay with you, and that what is not in your hand will not come to you, is what is leading to not being evolved into a better species. We need to learn that we know that a bird in hand will not be permanent, nor the bird in the bush will be permanent. So, what is your opinion on this?
Well, nothing is permanent for that matter. But like, once you have something that is already with you, why would you? I mean, why would you worry about something which you don't have? And in the process, you might even lose the thing which you already have. So I think it's better like to be happy and content with the things which we have, rather than stressing out too much about things.
Can I?
Short, quick one.
Yeah. Yeah, just like I said, nothing is permanent, as you mentioned. So you told it is not permanent. So just being based in the idea that the bird in hand is not permanent. In your own code, you mentioned that two in the bush is out of your reach. So when you lose the bird in your hand, you have nothing to have. No? So if you don't explore, how will you get a new bird?
That's exactly my point, which I said that you better be content with what you have rather than exploring something which you don't have. So, like, why would you throw the one bird which you already have and then go in and get another two which you don't have?
TV.
Wonderful speech, debater. You mentioned, and I state verbatim, that exploring might result in adversities. But we have to understand, life is but a gamble. If we don't take risks today, we will not have a better tomorrow. If APJ Abdul Kalam did not start the satellite in 1950, he would not be on the moon right now. What is your stance on this, debater?
I agree with you that exploring something is useful for us, but at what cost? I mean, the amount of lives that have been lost, and the people that are in trouble because of all of this.
Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause. And request anybody else need water in between, please let us know. Anybody needs water? Raise hand. Team G, are you ready? I hope you're not carrying phone in front of you. No, right? Sure. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good morning to everyone present here. Is exploring a new world a contention for no game? Do you think that is true? Well, currently there is an ongoing discussion about whether the exploration of new inventions and new world is a contention for the modern world. So I tend to think personally that this exploration of a new world is a contention for no game. Firstly, the Earth on a whole, which we live, is a vast planet, isn't it? It is a huge planet of many varieties of animals, of different types and many varieties. So this planet is in the solar system and had established 3,200 million years ago. And now you can see all the technological developments that have led to new evolutions of human species. So now, according to experts in this exploration field, as we see that many voyagers have leaped into the vast, deep oceans and seas to explore new things for the good of people. And I here say that Vasco da Gama and Ferdinand Magellan and all of these Christopher Columbus has explored many, many new islands and many new fields for the development of we humans. Now, this can be an abstract fiction, but sometimes when you try to put yourself in risk, sometimes you can be successful, but there are percentages of not being. So this leads to some kind of debate between the two people as we see contention. The word contention meaning a strong disagreement between two people against a topic. For example, when the earth was discovered, we knew how this was supposed to be discovered. How did even people think that when, why, or for what reason? Did you even have a thought about this? So now people thought this was quite controversial. And all over again, like new species evolved, new things in the ocean, new kinds of different kinds of species, various species evolved. So people gain the potential out of this and they think, oh, what if there could be another species evolving? What if some other new exploration would lead to the development of the worldly affairs? Have you ever had a thought about this? Now, for example, an apple fell on Sir Isaac Newton's head. What if he found out it was an apple? What if the same apple was replaced by another fruit or another thing that led to a discovery of something else rather than the apple? So in life, we can see many of these discoveries have led to an extent of different kinds of explorations to the modern world. Now when we talk about technology, technology has advanced on a vast basis throughout the world, and all these grandfathers, all our ancestors and all have passed these generations to all of us. So we can see that technology has advanced. For instance, as we look around, all the ancestors have used to talk on telephones, and then they did not have any kind of internet services. But now, once we go check on our mobile phones, we see that there's this word called INTERNET, internet. There's a word called internet. So when we press on with the click of this internet word, all the information, all the new explorations and discoveries are issued. But when our grandparents in their generation, when they went to the libraries, they had to peer through all the different kinds of books and see whether this was a new exploration or not. So now when we come to space technology, we see many of these people have developed many different things in the space technology. For example, as we see that Sunita Williams is stuck in space, as you can see now, she has developed a kidney failure. You can see that, right? And recently, just I think yesterday or something, due to this development of bullets, guns, and all these kinds of stuff, Donald Trump was electioning in the Pennsylvania campaign, and what had happened? What had happened? His ear had been nicked by the bullet. See, that is also not a good effect of these kind of developments and explorations. So, in a nutshell, what I have been saying is that these developments are good, but is it good at all? All
these explorations that all of us develop, is it like gaining a new world? Personally, I feel it leads to a gain. But is it? That's the question. Thank you.
Thank you. 4 minutes 59 seconds. 4 minutes 59 seconds. Okay. We open the round for rebuttal. Okay, I saw team F, team I, and team L. We'll see. Okay, team F and I show. Team F.
To begin with, you were reading, and my first question is that you mentioned Donald Trump getting his ear nicked. The invention of bullets and bombs have killed lots of people, but they have also helped us in warfare, and that is the method of combat that we have today. So you say that we quit bullets and guns and bombs, and what do? We fight with sticks?
Thank you for the question. I did not mention in my speech that these bullets and bombs would have developed for some kind of bad use. I just explained in or I stated in the speech that what if this kind of some invention would cause a bad effect on all kind of people. I'm not saying that these bombs or these explosions would have caused a lot of damage to people. They would have caused, but doing it in a bad way is not effective at all. That's not proper. That isn't how the government states to do. Thank you.
Debater, I wanted to confirm you are standing against the Yes. Okay. So, debater, you have stated that the invention of the bullet has caused Donald Trump to get his ear nicked. Aren't you contradicting your own statement that exploring new things is causing damage to our civilization, our people?
See, when I state this sentence, I mean that, when we go back to the ancient, to the World War, suppose, all these bombs and explosions had been made for personal cause as well as for the democratic cause. And this, what I stated here, Donald Trump's ear being nicked, I stated that the harmful effect of these can also be, there was a contradictory phase to this, isn't it? So I stated whether, like this bomb or this explosion, they are good. But could they be an explosion or could they be harmful effects on humans?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause to the
Thank
team
you,
G.
everyone.
Thank you. Team H. First member, please make your way. Introduce yourself. Let us know once you're ready. You ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Good morning to my fellow debaters, distinguished guests, and the judges. I am Anika from Amber Valley Residential School. I am speaking for the topic, Exploring New World is a Contention for No Gain. Exploration has caused harm. It has caused us many things. Now, talking about space exploration, we put up funds, budgets for it, but then many of these missions are failures. So instead of going for taking risks, can't we first look into the problems, the immediate problems of our country? Majority of India's population are living in poverty. Can't we put this budget where we are trying to explore, putting it in solving immediate problems like poverty, humanitarian aid for the countries who are in war? Many of the civilians who are in places of wars have been affected. So countries that are exploring at this time can send humanitarian aid for these people to have better conditions to live in. Exploration has caused us harm, as I started. Exploration has caused India to get colonized. One of my fellow debaters has stated that there is no, we have to lose something to gain something. But is losing so much? We've lost many. We've lost a lot of amount. British looted us, and British suppressed us. So yes, British have given us many inventions, but I think we could have, with the resources that we had before getting colonized, uh, we could have developed ourselves. India was capable of creating resources, like steam engine and everything, by ourselves. And yeah, in conclusion, exploration is not bad. It is good, but then it's like knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is not putting tomato in a fruit salad. So when you know your country has other problems, instead of exploring, try solving it. And many of my fellow debaters said we need to find new worlds to stabilize where we're living in, but then we are harming what we already have just to find something new. So that's that. I end with that. Thank you.
Thank you. 2 minutes 54 seconds. 2 minutes 54 seconds. I open the roll for the people. I'll give K. Let's put that B. K and B. Please.
I would like to ask my worthy opponent that you mentioned that exploration has caused harm. Well, I strongly believe that exploration has done many benefits. How can you define that it has caused only harm?
I stated that exploration is also good, but then we need to know where to use it. Our country is still developing, and most of our population is living in poverty. So, is it using that money to what do you say? To make our people's lives better more important, or create finding new things more important?
Fellow debater, you mentioned that exploring is a dangerous thing, like going on expeditions and stuff. When you consider the successful missions of Chandrayaan 3 and Aditya L1, which helped us understand the moon and sun respectively, don't you think we because we explored, we now have a better understanding of those celestial bodies. Without exploring them, how could we have known that?
Exploration is not dangerous. I just mentioned it as a risk. And like I answered my fellow debater's question, it is about knowing where to use it. And yes, that has given us a lot of information, but what if we put in that money to solve other problems? Wouldn't most of India's population be in a better condition than what they are in right now?
Short.
Because of these space explorations, we can, get valuable resources and help out the country's development then.
What information like Chandrayaan and Aryabhatta 1 provide for the poverty in India's population?
Not specifically mentioning Chandrayaan and Aryabhatta.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause for the participant. Yeah, I request next participant please make a way. When you introduce yourself, just introduce your names. That should do for us. No further introduction. Just your names. Thank you. You ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Good morning, dignitaries and my dear debaters. Today, I stand before you strongly against the topic exploring new world as a contention for no gain. What is this new world people are talking about? New world is a prospect people are looking at because of the various problems Earth is facing as of now. I would like to talk about this with respect to space exploration. Space exploration is a nexus of various technologies. It has astrophysics and asteroid mining, etc. Space research can also advance your knowledge. It gives us various job opportunities as well. With all this recent hype about space and technology, a lot of people have made this their go-to. So it provides employment to a large number of people. Space research is also a boost for all these developing countries. It can attract various conglomerates to actually come into our nation and invest here and which again provides job opportunities. And that to India being a country with a huge amount of its population under poverty, this would be great. This is also helpful for the potential resources we can get by looking into this prospect. It helps a lot of new technology, a lot of new researchers have told us that space research can also help in telemedication, in which a person's health is looked after from the space, and and the patient get notified about their health issues, etc. This is also, it's just a hypothesis that could be looked upon, and exploring is a very huge concept which cannot come to an end. It's very open-ended and can be looked at. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, 2 minutes 36 seconds. 2 minutes 36 seconds. We open for good till now. Team D and K, right? Yeah, Team D and K.
That was a great speech. But you fail to notice that the percentage of people dying is more than the potential for resources on other planets or in space. What do you have to say about that?
Can you rephrase it?
The percentage of people dying in space is more than the percentage of resources you get in space. What do you have to say about that?
Like, is this not about the astronauts going into space? Space research can be done from the Earth as well, and you have to look at the various prospects. This is like one of the papers gave an example of air including. Because of one death, it saved millions of deaths. So just like that, maybe those few deaths can help in a lot of other things.
As you know, my fellow debater, that this space expeditions take a lot of money, and if it's a failure, it leads to a lot of loss of money. Think you put the same amount of money in developing the country, won't it be better than having a risk factor on it?
Okay, so risks are everywhere, and also by developing the country again, doing space explorations can attract a lot of other countries, and your impression goes up automatically. You get a stand in, the worldly affairs, and that will again come back to us. In that way, you're looking at two things in the same.
Team B.
Nice speech, my fellow debater. You said that instead of going to space, you can sit on Earth and convey your message or what you want to explore. And you even said that about job opportunities, going to space is creating. So if a person wants to do a job, then he or she has to have passion in it. See, if you forced Virat Kohli to become an actor, it wouldn't be possible. If a person wants to go to space, then he or she should go to space, right?
I never said that you should prevent it. There's risk factor in everything, and just because it's their passion, just like you said, Virat Kohli couldn't be forced to do something else. It was his choice. Just like that, some people are there who would want to go, who would explore, and who would actually want to dedicate their lives in those fields. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's give a big round of applause to Team A. esteemed team I. If it is your name, you let us know your topic for tomorrow next. You ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Good morning, esteemed judges, my fellow debaters, and the audience. I am Sadvika, and today I stand strongly for the motion exploring new worlds is a contention for no gain. Firstly, let us start by defining a new world, shall we? What is a new world? In my perspective, a new world is any unexplored planet, an unexplored field of research, or even an extension of the existing fields of research. Now, I would like to explain my arguments by using 2 points. First and the foremost, I believe that developing a deeper understanding and enhancing our understanding of the present problems that are at our hand is much more essential than exploring the unexplored. Exploring the unexplored is not the panacea for our problems that we have at our hand. The problems that we consider to be a trifle for us are not even being solved. What can we solve about the unexplored? What use it is if we cannot solve what we have at our hand when we are exploring the unexplored? What use it is for two countries to contest in a space race when there's poverty, illiteracy, population control are not being handled by the country itself? My second point is that spending the limited amount of resources we have on space exploration or any form of exploring the unexplored is simply a waste. This is because we are much more likely to spend these resources on improving our country's status, developing it. What use is it to do all these explorations of the unexplored when we will not even survive to see the fruits of them bearing? Why? Because of the growing global warming, which the opposition does not want to care about and wants to send missions to space and missions underwater. Lastly, I would like to conclude by saying a quote quoted by Sir Isaac Watts. It goes as follows. How doth the bee, I repeat, how doth the little busy bee, I repeat, how doth the little busy bee spend its time improving each shining hour when it has to collect honey and go on from one flower to another flower? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Okay, we open floor for the witness. I will go with some views you not authority. C, then E.
Okay, I'm sure we're all aware about the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, it was exploration that got a cure for us. We wouldn't be standing here and speaking in this debate if it wasn't for exploration.
Yes, debater, I totally agree with your point, but I think you fail to notice what exploration, as you're quoted in the field of medicine, I will quote the same, the exploration of gene editing, what harm it has done to us. So I personally feel that whatever gains that exploration gives us, they farly outweigh, the gains are underweighed by the losses that it causes to us.
Dear opponent, beautiful speech. You mentioned that the resources must be reallocated and there are problems like population and poverty instead of focusing on the space race. But did you ever seem to notice that the annual budget for space exploration in India is just 0.07% of the Indian GDP? This is much lower than the budget is kept aside even for fertilizer subsidies, which is a popular metaphor for that argument. So when there is such less budget which is kept for the space allocation, so why should we reallocate the resources? There is nearly 5% of the GDP set aside for the development of the poverty, of the people below the poverty line. So how will this 0.07% of the GDP make a difference in their lives?
Debater, I think you fail to understand by resources. I do not mean only money resources. I also mean the thinking power, the amount of scientists or the amount of panels that are constituted towards the development of the country, and not only the income or the budget that is allocated to space research.
Thank you so much. Give a big round of applause for yourself. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
If you weep about change, you must remember that if it was not for the change, you will weep even more. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Actually, my name is Drupad, and I will be standing against the topic exploring new world is a contention for no gain. I would like to start off my speech by saying that people evolve, and one of the main reasons for the evolution of the people is because people explore more new worlds or new fields. If the human beings present, if the human beings that were there did not be courageous and be brave and explore different fields or different fields of science or whatever it is, we wouldn't be sitting here so comfortably. Now, I have to say that exploration is one of the main reasons we are here, we are alive. Otherwise, if it weren't for exploration, we would be extinct long before our time even comes. Now, I would like all of you to look up. What do you see? You see a light bulb. Thomas Alva Edison had discovered the light bulb, and it was shunned upon before. But could you actually even imagine about living in darkness? You're living in darkness for the rest of your life. No, you can't. It's extremely hard to do so. And I'm pretty sure many of you know that everyone knows what the television is. I'm pretty sure many of you watch the television. And if it weren't for the television to ever be discovered, we can't go home and watch our favorite episode of Modern Family or Friends or something like that. Okay? Now, internet. Again, I would like to bring the topic of internet into the bright light over here, because I am very sure that none of you over here can survive without the use of mobile phones or internet. Okay? Because as much as you disagree with me, you cannot. You are already used to the lifestyle of having an internet or having a mobile phone. Now, that was me metaphorically speaking about a new world, which practically meant a new field or a new world of technology, something like that. Now, I would like to get onto the more illogical part of the speech, which is literally speaking. I would have to say that our Earth is dying because of the extreme climate change and industrialization. And this is the logical part. I believe we can move to a different planet, which is extremely. I know you all might be thinking, well, what are you talking about? What is he talking about? This is pure utter nonsense. But you know those little bags that have "There is no planet B" thing written on it? I'm actually against that. I believe there is a planet B. If we just stop funding for things like warfare or bullets, if we just have universal peace and we fund more on the creation or the living on these new planets, I believe we can practically make a new world for us, right? And also, a new world can mean a new country, and every single country has its own flaws. But if we try very hard enough, we can create the perfect country that is a utopia, right? And that's the end of my speech. I would like to conclude by saying that I'm strongly for exploration, and I'm against exploring a new world. I'm against the topic that I really don't understand how it's a contention for no gain.
Okay, thank you. 3 minutes 51 seconds. 3 minutes 51 seconds. Okay, I will give somebody who has not got opportunity at all. T, L, and K. Is that okay? K has got one second, right? But let's take L first. Okay, then we'll see. Yeah, let's. I'll come.
You mentioned that we could always move to another planet, but we've damaged one planet. What's to say we won't repeat the same cycle again?
How long did it take to damage this one planet? You know how long it took to damage this one planet? We can always have a different try, right? This was just a warning. Let's just say that this was a warning and we moved to the other planet and we realized whatever mistakes that we had made in this already one planet, our own planet, that is Earth, and then we moved to another planet like Mars, and we fixed all of the changes. We tried to at least fix all of the changes, and that basically, I say answers your question.
Okay.
My fellow debater, you told that we should stop funding for ammunition and guns. Think that a foreign country starts its aggression against our own country. We can't just stay there and just surrender against the country. What is your thought about it?
I suggest a peace deal between the country that attacks you.
Okay, Team C.
Okay. Quote unquote, you mentioned stop funding for ammunition and warfare. Are you aware of the amount of political instability it would bring to any country for that matter if they completely stop their funding for for warfare?
Can you and I agree on something? If we're debating on something, in the end we do settle on something, right? We can agree on something, and I'm pretty sure that other countries will do that even though because of the political geopolitics or something.
You and me agreeing on something is not the same as two countries agreeing on something.
What is different about it?
We agree about petty issues. They agree about political stability, nuclear powers, veto powers, and what do you say, the main burning problems in their countries.
Yeah, so basically, we can resolve these issues if we just, agree with each other. It sounds difficult, yes, I know, it is quite illogical, but if we try hard enough, if we dedicate a lot to it, we can, I am very sure that we can, I firmly stand with this, we can agree on something that will be beneficial for both of us, or both of the countries.
Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause to Team Right. Team J, make your way. Introduce your name and then let us know talk for or against. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good morning to respected judges, audience, and my fellow debaters. My name is Zoha, and today I'll be speaking for the motion on the topic Exploring New World is a contention for no gain. Before starting, let's understand what this statement means. It basically means that exploring and venturing about a new place or a way to live is a contention. It causes disagreement and ignites conflicts between people, and it is not going to benefit us in any way. So, firstly, I'll talk about exploring the world of technology, a new world of technology. So I feel we have done enough of exploration in the world and in the field of AI and social media technology. It is now posing a threat, a huge threat on humanity and human employment, because AI is far more powerful. We have done enough of exploration on it, and now it is posing a threat on us. Secondly, I'll tell that Britishers came to explore India. What happened to us? It destructed our financial stability, our economy, and it took lots of years for us to regain our financial stability than it was before the Britishers invaded India. And we are still improving, we are still developing, still not able to regain what we had before Britishers invaded. So it's all because Britishers explored, and that is why it is a problem for us, because they took away all our wealth. Third and most important reason I say that space exploration. When we talk about space exploration, we tell that we have destroyed our mother earth. We have destroyed our mother earth by exploring it. And space exploration, it is when we talk about having finding or exploring a new way or a life on earth and Mars, life on Mars. How do you think it's going to be possible? Will it be easy? We need to have financial stability, economy. It is not going to be easy for us because when we talk about transporting the whole world to a different planet, will it be easy? Because not everyone will be able to go to a new planet. Not everyone will be allowed or permitted, given the opportunity to move to another planet. There will be a section of people, a class of people who will be neglected and ignored. Right? So these set of people, they will ignite contention, a disagreement, and I don't think it's worth it. So I feel that we have to stay united and cure our mother earth. We shouldn't allow it to go extinct. If we take care of it, it's all possible. We just have to be united. And I don't think we have to go in search of a new planet or a new place to live. We already have a very good planet and it is a good place. We just have to stay united and improve the way we live and stop disrupting it so that it doesn't go extinct. Thank you.
Thank you. 3 minutes 56 seconds. 3 minutes 56 seconds. We open rebuttal. Team G. Then we've got the teams here going on. Team G and Team B, and then let's see Team D if possible.
So, debater, you had said that enough of exploration has been done in the field of AI. Is that so? Can't there be any more technological advancements?
I don't think it's necessary because we already have enough. We are being greedy and selfish. So I don't think it's necessary.
So, towards the nation being greedy and selfish, do you think greedy and selfish, can't they replace any other word?
I don't think so. We are being greedy in the field of technology. We want more and more innovations and inventions in the field of technology and AI. So we are not satisfied with what we have.
Thank you.
Yeah, Team B.
Good speech, fellow debater, and you mentioned that we must be done with exploration. Is that across all fields or specifically technology? Specifically technology and AI, because it is a huge threat on each and every one of us. Okay, we got AI because we explored for it. Okay, we got AI and it makes our jobs easier every day, so it's kind of helping us. And what if we explore further and get much more advanced technologies than AI? We explore further, we are posing this threat on human employment that again becomes a set of debate. So I don't think we need to explore further. We should be satisfied and happy with what we have and work with what we have. What about the underdeveloped countries? We can help them.
Team D.
You mentioned how the exploration of social media and AI is a threat to human existence, right? So if I was in the case of emergency, do you expect me to send you a pigeon than send you a message?
I said that there's enough of exploration. we should be happy with what we have.
You can conclude your answer. You can conclude.
I tell that AI has done good for us, but exploring more will work with this thing. Each and every aspect of life.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause. We have another participant from Team J. Breathe. 1, 2, and 3.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. My name is Sudruti Bhatt. Today, I will be speaking on that is against the motion, exploring new world is a contention for no gain. I will be dividing my speech into 3 parts: technology, science, and politics, and history. So now, what is the topic? So now, before I explain how and why I'm against the motion, I'll have to explain what the motion is. Exploring new world is a contention for no gain. This sentence is basically suggesting us that exploration is giving us no gains at all, which I find a bit ironic. Now, let me start my justification of the choice. First one, technology and science. I'm sure everyone here has heard the name Albert Einstein. Can you please have a show of hands? How many of us know Albert Einstein? Many of us. So now, has Albert Einstein formulated the theory of relativity without exploring any of his options? No, right? So it is exploration which gives us the ability to find new things. And exploration is that one thing that gives us the energy or capability to give us new ideas and make new innovations. Right? And if we as people, as humans, as social animals, we are meant to explore. Because if we as humans don't explore, we wouldn't survive. Because inherently we are social animals. And if we don't explore with our friends, we wouldn't have any friends or family. So, talking about technology. So, every technology till date is all has been made with exploration. Light bulb, Thomas Alva Edison explored, experimented many times, failed, but he finally got it. Cars, bikes, mobile, everything was the solution and was the product of exploration, right? And actually, there's a small story that I want to tell. My parents, and in fact my whole family, was a bit skeptical about fingerprinting and fingerprint technology. When they first saw this in the Aadhaar card booth, they were surprised that what is this? What happens if we put our finger on it? What is it recording? And so, with that skepticism, they went about the process. And they were not very sure whether or not it would be successful, it would be secure. But they went out of their comfort zone. They went out, they used it. Today, almost everyone in my family is using a phone with fingerprint technology. I will use this example for students too, right? Because as students, we need to come out of our comfort zone and have to explore all opportunities in our life. Now, I also mentioned a bit about history. After World War II, Germany was divided into 2 parts: Eastern Germany, Western Germany. East Germany had a socialist state. Now, socialism, I will not go too deep into socialism, but almost for the entirety of its duration, nobody explored the options to get rid of Eastern Germany because it was internally communist. But a few people made that choice to go explore their choices and go stand up against the government. And they did. And finally, after persistence and exploration, they finally managed to free themselves from East German government, that is the GDR. And the Berlin Wall was broken. And to conclude my speech, I would like to say a small quote from Artemis Fowl. If my plan succeeds, I will be in the history books. If I fail, I'm called a madman. Thank you.
Thank you. 4 minutes 13 seconds. 4 minutes 13 seconds. We open for rebuttal. Team D and L. I'm sorry, I didn't see. Okay, we give a B also chance. Team D, B and L. Team D, B and L. D.
Okay, to start off, the theory of relativity is still a theory. There's no substantial evidence to prove Albert Einstein's claims. What do you have to say about that?
Sure. If you say you don't want examples of theory, well, Isaac Newton, who also found Newton's laws, experimented, proved them in real life, and we use them every day now. So, exploration doesn't.
Nice speech, my fellow debater. You mentioned that, by exploration you make friends. But even exploration causes conflicts. Like, let's take an example. If, exploring Antarctica, different countries are competing in, making their territory in Antarctica. So, what do you have to say about it?
Say, you spoke about Antarctica, and you spoke about conflict before saying, I mentioned that exploration gives you friends, and you mentioned that it also gives rise to conflicts. But when we give our energy towards exploration, right, we can, with the making of friends, there will be conflicts. That we are studying this too, right? So, with the same option, with the same energy, if we go through these conflicts, I'm sure we can come to a conclusion by exploring our options.
Female.
You mentioned that humans are inherently social creatures, but what relation does socializing have to exploring new worlds?
Okay, so I'm sure everybody knows the concept of an extrovert and an introvert, right? Say an extrovert, he or she will have the ability or has more energy to go about, explore in new places, explore with new people, and make those friendships or relationships. So they're exploring, they don't know who that person is. So technically, he or she is exploring the opportunity to make new friends and create new relationships.
You have follow-up questions? Okay, quick, short one.
It's a fact that most scientists who make discoveries and explore are introverts. What do you have to say for that?
Sure, but that doesn't indicate to their whether or not they have explored or not. Because whomever we call as famous scientists now have explored in their fields and have put in the work and went further than any other person.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause for Team A. We have next new team, Team K. First person, please introduce your name and let us know it of for or against. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow debaters and distinguished judges, a very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Kshitiji, and today I firmly believe in today's topic that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Well, in my perspective, the current world is increasing in technology and in all perspective. And in my perspective, the coming new world is going to be much far from our expectations. So now I have one thing to debate on. That is, I feel that we have explored a lot and now we need to preserve things until it destroys it. So there's one quote which says that we'll only save Mother Earth until we destroy it first. So let me put up my points. The first one, ethical practices. Nowadays, the current teenagers, generation, everybody have gone into, they are very fond of this new world, creating new world, their experiences. So now what they choose unethical practices on the way of achieving something, exploring the new world. They are choosing unethical practices. An article of 2020 says that a boy who was very fond of achieving, exploring something, at the end he got distracted from his life. And the second thing which I want to debate on is handling pressure and mental health. You know what? In this current generation, the parents, the students all have the pressure of exploring something new. And in that process, the students undergoes depression, mental health, and etc. And during this exploring new world is a contention for no gain, isn't it? But I feel there is a lot of laws also. One of my family relative had an ambition of achieving, exploring something new in his life. He created a company, but you know what happened? He was so successful, but at one end he lost everything, and the loss was huge, tremendous that the family could bear on. So I agree to the point that whatever it is, that we should at least try before failing, right? But while we are trying, we need to be thoughtful. We need to be mindful of we are trying. And my third point is that environmental issues. Environmental issues are huge. And whatever the very harmful gases it is present are from the explorations. I won't say that explorations are bad. The explorations have done a lot good. But I think that now we need to start preserving. We have explored, but we need to preserve. As I said that we need to save our Mother Earth until we destroy it first. And my last point is that, by exploring new world as a contention for no gain, I feel there is a creation of inequality, disparities. The one who has explored a lot and the one who hasn't still. So by stating all these points, I firmly believe that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. As I said, that unethical practices, harmful pressure, mental health, and these all state, I firmly believe that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Thank you.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 37 seconds, 3.37. 3 minutes, 37 seconds. We open the round for rebuttal. Let me give for somebody who has not got an opportunity. I think I has never got it. I have not seen recently. I can start. Then C and E. Okay, we are all three will have. Then if time permits, we'll look at A last.
Good speech, Devaita. But verbatim stated that we need to save the Mother Earth till we destroy it. Do you intend to destroy Mother Earth?
No. I would like to answer my worthy opponent that we are not trying to destroy it, but it is the fact, it is the truth that some of the items which we have explored, which we have discovered, is unintentionally destroying our Earth.
E.
Dear debater, wonderful speech. You had mentioned in your speech that you have given an example of a boy who got distracted from his life because of exploration. But there are various people who got distracted towards life and away from the bad things because of exploration. Such as I can give philosophers' names such as Franz Kafka, Socrates, Plato, Diogenes. And Diogenes was a practicing physician. But after he discovered and explored the new world, explored the new thoughts, only after that did he become the man he is known as today. Diogenes, the crazy man, because of his philosophical idea. What do you have to say on this?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question once, Nashon?
You mentioned a man who got distracted from his life because of exploration. But there are various people who got distracted towards life and away from the negative influences of the life just because of exploration. What's your take on this, debater?
Okay, I mentioned an example about a man, right? So according to me, the ratio is more on the other side, the risk side.
Okay, team C.
Okay, I have noticed a common theme in the people who are standing for the motion. It is all forms of exploration cause harm to the environment. Well, I would like to contradict that by saying not all modes of exploration do harm the environment. What is your say on that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mention in my speech that all forms of exploration is caused harm.
Okay. Okay, team A.
Well spoken, but I have a question. At the end, you mentioned that we need to preserve Earth until we destroy it. The concept of investment, sacrificing a part of your current well being for a better future. If we keep on concentrating on immediate causes and trying to find solutions for them, we will fail to solve a future problem that will become immediate in some time. What is your take on this?
Okay, my take on this is that what if we don't preserve it now? It will get destroyed now, right? So if we in the future we have to preserve it, but us to be in the future, we need to be in the present, right?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's give a big round of applause for Team K, first participant. The second participant from Team K. You ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today I'm standing against the notion that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. So, in my perspective, exploring the new world is something basically discovering the undiscovered, or something basically like that. So, you can tell that the human has never ever tried achieving of it, and the current human is actually trying to achieve it. So exploring new world basically states that. So here I'm standing against the topic that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. So basically it's telling that by exploring you're not gaining anything. But I stand totally against the topic because of exploration we're actually gaining a lot of things. Think about the light bulbs. Think about the chairs that you're sitting on. Think about all of the refractive lenses that you use for seeing and for all the blindness and all of that. Think about the Pascal's law that you use for using the liver. All of this was done through exploration itself. Yes, there were many failures in such explorations, but after multiple experiments, it was proved that all of these conclusions were right. So I just want to tell that by not exploring, it is actually hindering with the human consciousness. Human is someone who actually talks to others, wants to explore about things. Just making him being confounded to the four walls of the room is not the right thing to do. So exploring must be done by everybody. By exploring, it leads to better economic growth for the environment, better economic growth, and also for yourself. Exploring keeps you active and not what do it not not disturbed. So I would like to tell about Newton. So basically, an apple fell on a tree. So he could have had two perspectives here. Why did an apple fall on my tree? The other perspective, what he took is, how did it fall? What is the reason behind why did it fall? So he went through that perspective, conducted many experiments, and proved his Newton's law of principles, which is a theory of notation that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Then I would also like to talk about space exploration that my fellow debaters are talking about. Yes, there are many risks in a space exploration. You can lose a lot of money by having a space exploration. Yes, you can have a lot of bets, but through this, you're also having more advantages than disadvantages. Through this, you're getting new minerals, new isotopes, as my fellow debater told, and also you're actually finding an alternative for Earth. So these days, what is actually happening in with this? So I guess it was yesterday or something. Near my street, it is very dirty. You can't even go there. You can't even move properly there. It is basically very unhygienic. And my parents have already told about told the council to at least try cleaning it, but nobody is listening to this because nobody wants to do it. The human is basically very greedy and only wants for personal success. So it's better we rather start fighting for an alternative planet, because I don't see a future in Earth anymore. I want to conclude that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. Thanks.
Thank you. 3 minutes, 47 seconds. 3 minutes, 47 seconds. You open for the rebuttal. I'll give somebody who has never got a chance. Let's see. Anybody has never given a chance, please let me know. You never, anybody didn't get at all? Team F, you never got a chance? Yes or no? Once, only once. I have given you, I have given somebody. I have not given you? Okay, so you will ask question. I have given you or not given any chance? You got. Anybody has not got, please take opportunity. Okay, that's one. Anybody has got only once? Has got only once chance? To ask question only once you got chance. Okay. So A and B, anybody else? You got once. You got once, is it? You got twice. No, once. Have you got once already? Sorry, you got twice, you say. Okay. So A and B, let's ask, then let's see some of you. Okay. A and B.
Well argumented, my fellow debater. My question is, rather than finding an alternative world, we can make sure we save this world for the future generation, right?
So what I'm trying to tell is to find for an alternative planet so that you can try to achieve something new and also not repeat the same mistakes on what we have done for you.
We can achieve new things in this world, in this planet.
It is already too late to do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, thank you. Team B. Team B, you want to ask?
You see, first of all, good speech, fellow debater. You see, exploration, specifically mining, is what I say, is quite dangerous, and mining is also being used in unethical ways like child labor, as you can see in the recent circulating story of Draupadi Murmu's, mica mine story thing. How do you justify that exploration cannot be used in unethical ways?
That is not left up to. So basically, there are risks, obviously, for whatever I'm telling right now. There are risks. Government is trying to make sure that they're not able. They're trying to make sure that not actually there are no unethical practices, and they're doing everything in a proper way. Everything else is left up to them.
Okay, it's fine. Anybody else has never got a? You got one chance or twice? Twice. Anybody has got only once? Okay, how many have you got twice? I'll just pick random, okay? Don't feel bad. What be somebody else? Can team I?
Yeah. Debater, good speech. You had stated that the refractive lenses help the blind to see again. You verbatim stated that, see and all, actually. So
Yeah, I did state that. I myself have power. Think you don't have spectacles.
that's not my question. Debater, you had stated verbatim that refractive lenses helping the blind and all.
It's not the blind who can't properly see.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause. Team A. Team L. We have the concluding team, Team L. First answer. Please introduce yourself and let us know if you're for or against. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Exploration of new worlds. It has always been considered the hallmark of human spirit and history. But in today's world, amidst arising problems, do we still stand to gain? Good evening to one and all present here. I am Akshri Patil, and today I'm going for the motion that exploring new world is a contention for no gain. So think of today's world. What do we face at every turn? We face problems. We see problems everywhere, from poverty, literacy rates, etc. We see the global warming. We see the rising sea levels, and this causes concern. And most importantly, and most concerning of all, we see the depletion of resources. Today's world is one that's crumbling around us as we speak. It's one where many people are suffering. And what are we doing to alleviate this suffering? Exploring new worlds? Is that really the solution to the problems that we face at the current moment? Exploration. It's very expensive. So, not just in money, but also in time, resources, energy. And is it wise to utilize these resources in exploration at the given moment? Take the example of space exploration. So, obviously, the materials required is very vast and very expensive. Then there's also the time spent on research, the brilliant minds that all have to come together. And this is not regarding the fact that there's trial and error, lots of trial and error involved. All in all, the process requires a lot of resources to be utilized. So when we are investing so much, are we really gaining this world as we speak? There are a lot of problems, and wouldn't it be better to and energy into fixing them rather? Historically, exploration has always exploration is like a wolf in sheep. Distracted by the golden image of exploration, we fail to see the trail of blood it often leaves in its wake. Take Christopher Columbus and his discovery of the Americas. The Americas were considered a new world, but with their discovery came the massacre of many of the native people living in that area. 95% of the native population was wiped out. And with that, their culture, their tradition, and everything they had built was weakened. And to add insult to the injury, this exploration was celebrated as if so many lives, so many traditions, so much value hadn't been lost. So, in today's world, I believe that we should prioritize development of our own earth. There are many problems we face in our earth, and such as global warming, the rising sea levels, and we should focus on fixing those problems. Our earth has given so much to us. So, shouldn't we also give back to the earth? Sure, we could always discover a new planet, but history is a cycle that repeats itself. What's to say that we won't degrade the planet that we move to? What's to say that we are capable of keeping the ecosystem alive? We should be focusing on preserving the earth. The UN has laid out development goals, and these have shown massive progress. If they had laid out exploration goals instead, would we have the same progress? All in all, the world that we nurture